before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.
Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
And now for our feature presentation.
Can you guys hear me now? Cool. I'll make sure you guys hear me. All right, cool. Hey guys, Mike 7 here. I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for stopping by. Yeah, okay, we good. All right, we good in the building. Shout out to Wally in the building. All right, me and Jay King. Jay King is here. He just has some technical difficulties, but he'll be joining us relatively soon. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be recapping Star Wars Celebration. There's been a lot of news that just dropped that we need to be discussing everything and everything about what's coming in the world of Star Wars and everything like that. And just to give you guys just an update what's been going on this channel, that there's going to be new trailer breakdowns and also more movie reviews will be coming in the later days. So make sure you guys hit the notification bell on your way out. And also, if you're watching this on a pre-recorded, you can catch it live. Thank you for stopping by. And make sure you leave a like and feedback on the channel. Any feedback and everything be greatly appreciated. All right, I want to kind of highlight some people here in the building right now. Let's see, highlight someone. Shout out to Miss Tamika or Mrs. Sowell, soon to be. How you doing, sweetheart? Shout out to to the Prime Minister of Nation Wigwam, Scam Likely. Yeah, shout out to Wally. Yo, I'm still shocked about Jack Black and Lizzo. Yeah. Lizzo is in Star Wars. We're gonna be talking about that. Lizzo is in Star Wars. I still can't believe it. Still can't believe it. Yeah. Shout out to Great Pill Podcast in the building. Thank you, man, for stopping by. Thank you. Salute to you. Make any other content creators, make sure you guys go subscribe to your channels and everything, and let them know who sent you. Um, Shout out to Ami Pre. Shout out to Ami Pre. Hi, Gen Mike Seven is just dropping to say hello. All right, thank you. Hello, I hope you're doing well. Shout out to Up to Unicorn. I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you guys for stopping by. But yeah, so we got a lot to talk about, y'all. First of all, I'm gonna wait till we go into. I'll wait till when Jay King gets back in here, cause then we get to talk about the recent episode of The Mandalorian. Um, Season 3, episode 7. We got about we got one more episode for the season finale coming next week, and there's a lot of stuff that's been happening later half episodes, but we're gonna break that down once he gets up here. But one thing we're gonna be going over, we're gonna go over a few items here. First off, one second, let me just go on talking about one of the main news is today that after Star Wars Celebration, Star Wars Celebration is an annual event that basically happens every year, or and basically kind of covering different world of Star Wars, not just movies, but also TV shows, video games, but also just the world of Lucasfilm. We got a new trailer for Indiana Jones, which will be the final film for Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones and everything. But we also got casting announcements. We got a actual set timeline of Star Wars now that got explained, and actually going in depth in terms of like what's the current state of Star Wars is today and what's going to be happen in the next 5 years. And we also got announcements of like trailers and everything, which we're going to be breaking down here on this show right now. But we also got an announcement that we're not only getting one, not two, but three Star Wars films coming in the next few years. No release dates as of right now, but we have gotten at least the announcements of what those films are, and at least for one of them, we know who's going to be returning in those films. So I'm going to be sharing that right now. Let me just give me a few seconds. Give me 1 second right here as I share my screen. One second, y'all. All right, hope you guys can see article right now. Yeah, you can. Cool. All right, let me just get this full screen up here for you guys. I'm Asia. Here. All right. Cool. All right. You guys see that? Yeah. All right. So yes, this is everything that's been announced in the recent Star Wars Celebration in 2023. One this year, Star Wars Celebration started with a galactic bang with Lucasfilm bumper studio panel, which dropped and reveal after reveal a bunch of information about what's going to be looking forward ahead in the coming years. There was tons of exclusive looks at upcoming projects, too, including the Skeleton Crew and also a new Disney Plus show, The Acolyte, which is going to be talking about the Sith and going to the dark side within Star Wars. So let's go cover the big one that there've been at least three new films have been announced. Three. This has been confirmed by Kathleen Kennedy and at Lucasfilm, who's also the president of Lucasfilm right now. And she's basically came out with for the first film, which is going to be directed by James Mangold, who was the director and is of the director of Indiana Jones 5, which is coming out later this year. And basically, this film is basically going to the origin of the Force, origin of the Star, and basically what's referred to from Kathleen Kennedy as being biblical, right? So that's the first. That is the first film that we got. That's going to be coming from Lucasfilm. The next film we got, we're also going to be getting the return of Daisy Ridley as Rey. This is going to be 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, and you can see here in this image right here, her coming up on stage. Yeah, we got to confirm that Daisy Ridley will be returning back. As Daisy as a Rey, the new Jedi, or Rey Skywalker, we should say, and her basically looking into finding a new Jedi Order, establishing a new Jedi Order. Now, my personal opinion about this, that I'm not obviously not a big fan of what they've been doing with these films and everything like that. I've been very vocal, at least if you have known me personally, very vocal that at least with the Rise of Skywalker or the sequel trilogy have not been, guess, been the best. Actually, ultimate point, I'm not a fan of Rise of Skywalker. That was probably my least favorite. Um, and one of the things that I really wanted to see from them is that I wanted to see them actually continue on establishing the lore of Star Wars, not just being bounded by the nostalgia of those characters of Luke, Han, Leia, and everything like that. And then obviously we have other issues with John Boyega. Obviously, been the first film been marketed to be like the Black Jedi, and then that never happened. And then we also have the controversy of of the Last Jedi that was directed by Ryan Johnson and everything. And then with the Rise of Skywalker, with the controversy of Rey or Daisy Ridley, now becoming Rey Skywalker and everything like that, and the whole Kylo relationship and stuff. Will Kylo return in this film, even though it's 15 years later? We shall see. I hope that with this particular film that they give us a little bit more direction. They announced the director of the film as a female director. I hope they're able to hopefully invest in terms of giving her a more proper story. Yes, we can go back in time and change everything, but at least what we can do, try and make a step further into forward. Good content, more importantly, having compelling characters to back these films and everything. Not only that, right now we got Disney Plus just being the main content of Star Wars, but now these films have used to become epics and everything like that. So I really hope that that moving forward, that at least with this film, I'll give it a chance, and hopefully they make a good film on this. Have no issue with Daisy Ridley as an actress. Have no issue with her performance or her capability as an actress. Just the writing of her character, writing of Rey. I'd be vocal with all other fans that hopefully we can what we gotten before. But yeah, so that's the one, the second film that was announced. The third film actually gonna be going to with the Mandalorian, that basically can be directed by Dave Filoni. That can be the culmination of all the Disney Plus shows, the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, into one conclusion event film, and it's gonna be directed by Dave Filoni, who directed the episodes of Clone Wars. Directed episodes of Star Wars Rebels. He started in animation and everything, but he was also the shepherd or the pupil to George Lucas himself. So this is gonna be his first film that he ever directed live action, right? But obviously with his experience now he's been doing with the Mandalorian and everything, I really do believe that this person knows Star Wars better than anybody else. But now I just will hope that now we're moving from going into the small screen and going to a more theatrical big event film. I hope he has the capabilities to deliver, and I do believe he does. I'm really excited the fact that they can have a conclusion of all these Star Wars shows, because one thing, we have all these Star Wars shows, but really have nothing to actually, like, what's the next step and what's the conclusion of all this, right? Is it just going to be another show or a crossover show, or is it going to be a film? And turn out it's going to be a film. So I'm really excited about what they're going to be doing with that, with those titles, such as Ahsoka, Star Wars Light, and the Mandalorian, all of it coming to a conclusion. And what you seen, what you're going to be addressing the Ahsoka trailer, um, uh, 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 they're really setting the seeds for potentially a heir to the Empire storyline, which hopefully, obviously, not going to be the exact storyline that we've known in Star Wars lore before, but hopefully that when we see in these coming episodes in this next season, or the Mandalorian and also Ahsoka, that hopefully we can get some answers in terms of what is the end game of all these connective shows. But one thing I think out of these three films that I am that it got announced, the one I'm most looking forward to seeing is actually James Mangold film, which is talking about the origin of the Jedi or the dawn of the Jedi, right? I think that is going to be what we refer to as a biblical epic. We've seen many stories talking about the origin of like where this massive history began. So I think this is again starting like thousands of years before the prequels, thousands of years before the sequel trilogy and the Mandalorian and all that stuff. We actually get to see the origin of the Force, origin of the right. And I know George Lucas was even talking about what that might have been, the possibilities of that. But I really do appreciate at least them taking risks and everything. I will say, however, I do have a few concerns about what they actually are going to be doing with these properties, especially going to the Dawn of the Jedi is also just going to the level of the mystery, right? So, because for example, you look at all properties and the lore, really want the answer, how the Jedi like that, because we know, like, obviously, so I hope uh, that when they're making these films and everything like that, hopefully they're able to actually, because there's nothing more disappointing than having all this setup of these shows and everything to only be thrown out the window because we have basically mediocre content, right? I hope that doesn't happen. So I mean, as a fan of these properties and everything, I hope they're able to deliver, and only that we got time to see. Second of all, the next thing I'm really concerned about is that this is not the first time we got announcements of a Star Wars show and or a movie and it never came to be. We were supposed to get a Ryan Johnson trilogy, which been confirmed that's not going to happen. We got confirmation that we're gonna get a Star Wars show by the creators of Game of Thrones, and which is one of the reasons why the final season of Game of Thrones got rushed and became very controversial because it wasn't really that good because they were trying to rush to get to that Star Wars movie they never got to make, right? Or hey, we got a director assigned to this project. Then you might even shoot the damn project, right? Lo and behold, till in the middle of the production, fire them, which happened to directors of Solo, the Solo origin movie of Han Solo and everything. That's the same thing that happened, right? And I hope that that again they put their money where their mouth is and actually execute the things they announce, because you have a lot of set up and build up to this, and hopefully we need to get to a point where Star Wars is actually a viable property now, and not just just for fan service that's actually not going anywhere and just treating the fans like we're dumb 2-year olds and we don't know what we're talking about, right? We've been with this property for over what 30, 40 plus years, and we need something new. We need something to be more consistent on delivering quality, not just quantity of all these Star Wars shows, right? But let me guys know in the chat down below what you guys thought about the three new Star Wars films that have been announced. You guys have any concern? Are you guys looking forward to this? And which one is your favorite? You looking forward to the James Mangold film up talking about the origin of the Jedi? Are you talking about the bringing the return of Rey Skywalker and almost like simultaneously continuing the sequel trilogy, even though it was only set 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker? Or are you interested in the Mandalorian culmination film that's gonna be happening? So let me know down below. Um, all right, we got okay. Hopefully, we'll bring the good sir up here. Oh, I see. All right, J King, you there? I think he's still muted. Oh, you there? Yo, Jay, can you hear me? Can't mute. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I couldn't hear you, man. Make sure you put your let me know if you're able to get your mic up and everything in the back. Um, yeah, but shout out to a Mandrell in the building. Mandrell just stopped by. Thank you, man, for showing your support. There's a question by Dangerously Active saying, is Boba Fett included? No. Short answer, no. Obviously that with that property, with that show and everything was really a colossal failure. And I don't see any really future Boba Fett at least coming or anything anytime soon. Shout out to my man Marcus in the building. Marcus, um, man, thank you for stopping by. Uh, but yeah, guys, I thank you guys for stopping by. Make sure you guys hit the like button as we continue on with the next topic here. Next one here, one of the new trailers that dropped, and actually the best trailer that came out of Star Wars Celebration is actually the Ahsoka trailer, right? And I'm actually going to be sharing that right now. So give me 1 second. 1 second. Here. There we go.
Dark. I sense it.
This is a new beginning. For some, war. For others, power.
It's been a while. Things have changed. I started hearing whispers about Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
All right, y'all. That is the trailer for Ahsoka, which is a new Star Wars Disney Plus show. It's gonna be coming out later this year. All right. Let me bring up J King. J King, are you there?
I'm here now. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Great. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, I had to go to a different camera. Sorry for not being here, guys, and the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully that'll be fixed.
No, I got you.
Mm.
No, it's good. I got something. Well, I got to play something in the back for you. This is just for you. So this is why you can't trust black people. They always show up goddamn late. That come on, man. Come on.
What
Now
happened?
put him back. No.
Put back.
Yeah, man. But no,
Put
thank you.
back.
No, no, man. But I hope you're doing well, man. But it's all good. I know we're having technical difficulty here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mandrell say hello. He said finally he finally went out about it. I'm like, yeah,
Nope, nope,
that,
nope. I'm
that
I'm
messed
I'm
up
I'm I'm,
monetization.
I'm, I'm still using this, just not now.
Got you, got you. Yeah, man. But first of all, we can actually just break this down. The Ahsoka trailer here. 'Cause now you're already here. Let me actually
Hmm.
kind of share my screen right here. Right. Um, but yeah, because there's a lot to like discuss. This was very the like most popular one things that came out out of Star Wars Celebration and everything. But when we're gonna start with this shot, this shot right here. Obviously, we seeing Ahsoka, at least try and go into like a Jedi temple or Sith temple, possibly whatever. But one thing I just kind of like is
Hmm.
Rosario Dawson. It still have like the physicality of this role again. Again, this is a casting that's not the voice actor of Ahsoka from Clone Wars and everything. But
Right.
she did make her appearance on Mandalorian season 2, which
Hmm.
that was one of the popular episodes out there. But I really like again just her physicality in this role, at least giving mannerisms and stuff of an older Ahsoka. Again, I think it was just really good casting.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. Again, like she's not the original voice actress, and yeah, you would definitely miss that voice, especially after hearing it in Clone Wars and in Rebels, and also like last year's Tales of the Jedi. Was that last year? Yeah, that was last year. Tales of the Jedi. But I say that Rosario Dawson does a
Yeah.
great job when it comes to
Mhm.
just capturing the mannerisms and the likeness of Ahsoka, not just with all of the all the prosthetics and everything that they obviously added to her and all of the paint that they added to her to make her look just like the
Mhm.
character does, like around the ending of Rebels, which is last we saw her. There, like she definitely embodies that character, and we already know that that's the done deal after Mandalorian and after her, like quick appearance in Book of Boba Fett as well.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm this one. I really think you should call this film or at least this series, Rebels the movie. Um,
Rebels, the movie, or Rebels like Rebels season 5 or something.
Right, yeah, because you do get the right here. You see the first look of Sabine
Sabine.
Wren, one of the
Hmm.
Mandalorians in Rebels. Now she's a lot older. Our hair is a little bit different, but you can tell the same color and everything. And as you see this
Hmm.
shot right here, this is uh, this is a shot of her helmet and everything like that. So I think this is really good just to bring her back and stuff. But again,
Yeah,
really good casting and really kind of, go ahead.
And also just to know, again, if anybody has not seen Star Wars Rebels, I highly advise. It's a great show, but also you're going to need a lot of context when this comes out. But yeah, great casting. Hair got to grow out, and also if you notice that she's on the fall because they even show one of the Lothalian like cats that are usually seen around the place. Like I'm pretty sure she's in Ezra's old home. That which again, Ezra is going to be a big point of this series as well. Again, if you've seen Rebels.
Right. And again, we see some of these Imperial guards here because right now, like the First Order, doesn't exist yet as of yet, right?
Hmm.
But again, when as we're moving forward here, we're just seeing some of the seeds of the First Order or the Empire coming through. We do see
Yeah.
live action Chopper
Hera and
and
Chopper.
Hera.
But I will say though that those guards are we've seen them before. They were in Ahsoka's first appearance in The Mandalorian season 2.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Hmm.
And we do see again, this is actress here is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, playing the live
Hmm.
action Hera, where she looks very, really good, by the way. Again, like you see a lot
Yeah,
of these animated characters here.
mhm.
Now
And in
one
case any
thing
of
you
you
see
guys
here,
like, sorry, and in case any of you guys were like, wait, have I heard that name before? The person playing Hera also ironically played Huntress in the Birds of Prey film, and also Ramona in Scott Pilgrim.
there, yeah. Now we do see these two new characters. We don't know who they are. We get confirmation at least about their names. I know
Hmm.
this actor right here. One second, I'm slowing down. We get a better shot of him later, but right here, his name is
Yeah.
Balin. I think he's a Dark
Hmm.
Force user. We don't know if he's a Sith or anything like that, but we do know at least there are lightsabers that you've seen this, and this probably his apprentice or whatever. Could always the rule too. They have a
Hmm.
new lightsaber color is orange. It's off
Yeah, it's like
red, but it looks
orange.
orange.
Yeah, it's like not
Now,
completely dark side. It's just somewhat there, but not complete. It's like in the middle of dark side and light side in a sense, but more dark side.
right, and at least when we look at some of the theories, at least that's coming out from this, that was confirmed that at least potentially that one of these characters actually were Jedi that actually came out or survived Order 66 and but are actually kind of being at the faction off of like the light side of the Force or dark side of the Force. But
Hmm.
the fact that these colors are off or look like a little bit off, like red and possibly orange, was not a coincidence and was actually done on purpose. So I think that kind
Hmm.
of go into at least are these characters really full out villains or are they actually more, a little bit more not two dimensional and everything. I'm really interested to see what they can do. Um, Again, and this will come out later this year. This right here, this shot, this is Lothal. If any of you are
This is what
fans
the
of
this.
Rebels, exactly,
Uh-huh.
exactly. I look exactly like Lothal from Star Wars Rebels, the animated show.
And just exactly like one of the ending shots within, because okay, again, for any of you all who need a refresher, it literally ended on the fall with Sabine looking out to Ahsoka's ship coming and the two of them looking for Ezra. Now again, that was in timeline wise, if I'm correct, 10 years ago, like right after the end of the original trilogy. Now 10 years later, they're gonna try again, but also to look for Thrawn. But this is like a complete recreation just in current time.
Right. Yep. That's a perfect shot right there.
Hmm.
Finally, them reuniting and everything. Obviously, it's been some years, obviously, since they last been seen together.
Hmm.
But then also right here, this shot right here, we
Mon
get a return.
Mothma.
We get return of Mon Mothma, one of the hopefully Republic officials and everything who was in Return of no, was in Return of Jedi. I think it was or Empire Strikes Back. But at least
I think I think it was Empire Strike. I think it was Empire. I might be wrong. It might be Return of the Jedi, but I'm pretty sure that it was Empire where the character first appeared. We got her again during Rogue One, and recently saw her last year in Andor.
right, and this is the same actress who was in
Hmm.
Revenge of the Sith and everything. So I like how they have this actress and keeping the consistency through these different shows. But again, this is setting seeds for the buildup of hopefully the the Mandalorian culmination film that Dave Filoni going to be directing. But right here, we get a
Hmm.
shot in the back of Grand Admiral
Grand
Thrawn,
Admiral Thrawn.
who's the same voice actor from
Hmm.
Star Wars Rebels and everything. Now, Grand Admiral Thrawn is one of the Imperial officials. He came from the expanded lore, which is the storyline of Heir to the Empire.
The Empire.
Um, and for those of you guys that know, Heir to the Empire is a storyline that is a trilogy of books that came
Hmm.
after the original trilogy back around I think around the 90s or early 2000s or so. But
Around there.
it involved Luke, Han, Leia, their children, all a bunch of people, Mara Jade, a bunch of people in that storyline. But obviously they can't do that, but they can do a variation of it, of basically him trying to become
Hmm.
the new heir to the empire after the emperor is supposedly gone. But one thing I really like his portrayal, what they did with him. And it's the same voice actor. I can't put the leak image. I can't put that on YouTube. I know they're probably gonna ban me for that. But you can look on it online and everything. But yeah, but
Sure.
this is the same voice actor. One of the Mickelson brothers. That's gonna be voicing Grand Admiral Thrawn in the anime series. He's gonna be playing him live action. Um, but yeah, because last time we see him in this shot with Ezra, and him getting shot up into space and everything. And we didn't know if they supposedly died or whatever. We do get confirmation about that. Whether obviously he's alive, which means later we're gonna get a shot of Ezra, which is a Jedi from Star Wars Rebels, who's also alive in the show as well. But as we continue on with the trailer, he gets shots on Imperials. And here's with the shot right here that she's mentioning Heir to the Empire. Heir to the Empire came out in the 90s. Thank you, Mandro. Appreciate it. But it was a very very popular storyline that came out. It was, but again, I think that was the one main thing when before Disney acquired Lucasfilm, that the expanded books and everything basically became non-canon and everything. So the fact that they're bringing all these characters back, a lot of fans, including myself, are very excited. So hopefully they're able to execute right. Now we get the return of this assassin from who she fought in the Mandalorian. Now we thought she supposedly
Hmm.
died. This is the
Nope.
one who had the pure Beskar spear that she was fighting Ahsoka with in I think season 2 of the Mandalorian. But obviously you can see she's back, and during that scene, I think maybe because she spared him because she asked her for information like where is Grand Admiral Thrawn, and hopefully we don't,
Hmm.
we'll get answers of because she's looking in the background. She's probably still in the same background that Thrawn was earlier in the shot. But this is she's also I think she's related to Bruce Lee um as well. I
I think
think
so.
like she's
Yeah.
a very she's very into mixed martial arts and everything, combat. So it's like the fight scene that she had with Ahsoka previously in Mandalorian season 2 was very, very good. So hopefully, I know we can get some good action this show.
Yeah, I also want to point out like this location that you see Ahsoka and the dude in. A lot of people are saying that this potentially. So if you don't know how Ahsoka is here or how she even ever came back, that's because in Rebels, Ezra brought her back through basically this brink in time. This is not the same place, but what I think it could potentially be, essentially, especially since Filoni said that all of this is going to, you know, culminate in basically the stuff that will happen right before the sequel trilogy may and we're also seeing like the seeds planted for stuff like Snoke and the Emperor's Return, that maybe this is potentially that, like, this is obviously the same type of like star constellation we see in the logo, but some people have said that maybe this could also be where the clone body of the Emperor could potentially be, like some type of star map. Either way, I don't think that this is like the brink between time though.
Yeah, the world between worlds. That's what it's giving. You know.
Hmm.
But wow, this is my favorite shot in the whole trailer. Like right here. Like this is my favorite shot. Like because then also the background of this too. For those you guys know what world the between worlds are. It basically was a episode in Star Wars Rebels that was actually going into almost beginning between time and space, and then you got references of
Hmm.
like, oh, you hear Ray in a different timeline, you hear Luke or
Yoda
Darth
in a
Vader.
different timeline. You hear Luke, you hear Anakin, you hear Obi-Wan, you hear Qui-Gon Jinn, you hear all these different places. And again, this was like a hidden temple within the Thal, with the Thal wolves that Ezra entered. And again, as I said, that's how he brought Ahsoka back, because Ahsoka was supposed to die in her battle against Darth Vader. He plucked her out right after that moment. So that's, again, it's thanks to Ezra that she's alive, and he promised her, hey, find me, which again, we'll find him.
Right, exactly. So, but again, I just think this, whatever this is, like this, I'm really intrigued with this Balin character. That's his name. Again, just the Dark Force user. Like it's been a minute since we got like a character like this and everything. Oh wait, hold on for a second. For checking the chat. Shout out to Cam, Miss Barronville in the building. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you're doing well, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing very, very well. I hope you're in good health and everything. Um, yeah, from me and Tamika, we love you. Hope you're doing good. But this is from Dangerous Active. He said, remember Ahsoka was introduced. Three good moments when she free Rex with the old Bad Batch and another. And if we're speaking of time frames, yeah, no, that was a good
Mhm.
moment. I know. In the first shot, there was actually a reminiscent of when she was trying to escape with Rex, with basically with the lightsabers and turn like turn into a circle and trying to escape on the second floor. That was a good shot,
Mhm.
but the animated did better than this. But I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, 1 second. Okay, well, right here. 1 second. We get a full shot of Hera and talking about preparing for the worst. So again, we don't
Mhm.
know obviously with the events of Mandalorian, which we're going to talk about. That's the next topic we're going to talk about.
Mhm.
The Mandalorian, but there's obviously sees like they're trying to rebuild the empire, or obviously probably going to lead into the creation of the First Order. But again, it's just that you see these forces now, people are coming together and seeing more these these culmination like of events that are going to be happening this next year, especially this next week's episode, Mandalorian, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, we see Hera here; she looks really good, and you see
Mhm.
the Balin are going against each other.
I'm curious if we're going to
This
see
shot right here.
Hera's. I'm curious since it's 10 years if we're going to potentially see like Hera's son, because for any of you who don't know, like right after the original trilogy, she had a kid, Kanan's kid.
Right. Yeah. We don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's been about because I don't know how old they are. Obviously, I think it got to be about maybe 10 or 15 years.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
something
like
like that. Because
10. It's like
Ezra.
10. It's like 10 years after the events of the original trilogy, and we don't know how old the kid was at that ending, which again was after the original trilogy. So,
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. But um, yeah, we see her apprentice attacking the ship. But this shot obviously reminiscent of Vader going and taking out the stormtroopers in Rogue One. But this is just a great shot. I love his costume. But again,
hmm
you get a clear shot of his lightsaber. It's clearly orange. So it's like we
yeah,
never seen orange, lightsabers before, at least live action before. So
nope.
um I'm trying to see like what story they're adapting to. Maybe some of the again, probably the Imperial acolytes that were like back in the old like expanded universe days where like the um the Dark Force users they had like white lightsabers, but they were like in red,
Hmm.
costumes and everything, like serving, the Emperor, but like in factions and stuff like that, like somewhat like similar to Inquisitors and everything. But I really like this shot, and I think this is gonna be a very, very compelling character. Yeah, Bo, check the chat. He said, "Why did my favorite Mandalorian besides Din have to go out like that?" And Disney, sorry, but make me have wait a freaking week for a conclusion. Yeah,
It's
we'll
called
talk. We'll
cliffhangers.
talk. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. um, yeah, but this is Marcus. He was saying, I wonder why certain material, this is animated or comic written and able to be made live action, for whatever reason, doesn't shift well to live action big screen. Yeah, I mean, like for some folks, like for example, like you look at what was it the Book of Boba Fett? They brought Cad Bane
Hmm.
and into the fray and everything, but you know you obviously there was YouTubers that did a better job like rendering his visual effects look exactly like he did in Clone Wars and stuff. But the same voice actor and everything, but it looked kind of a little bit off. But I don't know, animation,
I
you're
mean,
right, does trying to transition to
I
live
mean,
action be difficult. But
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, like, not, I mean, with animation, as we all know, like, they have the liberty of having some things being extravagant and being like over the top. Like, for instance, Spider-Verse, you know, not everybody has the proportions of characters like in Spider-Verse or like in Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. And the same could also be said for characters within like Clone Wars and Rebels. So I know that when it comes to some things not being exactly one for one from what they were in animation or cartoon to the live action, that it could throw some people off, but not everything either translates well or could be translated well in a good sense. Like, I mean, heck, some people may feel a little jarring between, what Ahsoka looked like last versus how she looks with Rosario Dawson. But I mean, like, some things can translate well, some things can't. So it's like, it is what it is at the end of the day. As long as the spirit is still there, as long as they at least are close enough, that's fine by me, as long as I can understand that, if they because if they wanted to, they could have.
right. Uh, this was Colin Marcus. I wonder if they'll have a callback or flashback with Ahsoka or like a middle-aged Anakin, older or slash Darth Vader training, or sharing a moment, maybe like the old Jedi Council, Yoda, Mace Windu, or Kenobi. Right. That I mean, honestly, that would have been that actually would be a really cool shot because they did that with Obi-Wan Anakin in the Obi-Wan series. But that's I
Yeah.
think that's what probably everyone's waiting for. At least see a shot of a flashback of all three of them. But if you're going to do that, they're going to
Hmm.
have to recast Rosario Dawson. Like she is really older, you know, and
Yeah,
Ahsoka
they
came
would
in
have
like
to
a
do like a younger Ahsoka. They would have to like cast a younger Ahsoka, which I mean, we'll see. I'll say maybe the one scene that we would get recreated would be the Darth Vader versus Ahsoka fight to kind of lead into the series. Like I can see that most likely getting recreated their duel right before Ezra saves her. And you know, maybe they might attempt to go back to the old Clone War days, but you know, if they don't, okay, but I won't be too upset over it. But I at the very least hope though that that Vader versus Ahsoka fight does get translated, even if it's for like only one scene. I at least hope to see something like that.
yeah, yeah. And speaking on Marcus' point, like this, you now can see a good shot of Ezra live action. That's clearly
Hmm.
him. You know, Sabine looking at him because the whole point of the mission is finding where is Ezra, you know,
Hmm.
and everything. So, I mean, I really do. Yeah, we're obviously gonna probably get that reunion, and maybe even Ezra being part of the live action culmination film, whatever. It's not like we don't have a title of it yet. So, but again,
Yeah,
whatever
we
the
don't,
film
but
Dave Filoni is directing, and then hopefully Ezra's still alive. Like you gotta believe they're still gonna use him or something, you know.
hmm.
Yeah, but we can continue on this shot right here. Uh Now right here we see a shot. I could think it looked like her fighting a Inquisitor, just like from Rebel season two.
Yeah,
And
the because you know there were a lot of Inquisitors, and I think I forget which number brother they said this was, but like one of the last few, because like they either got taken out in Obi-Wan or they got taken out during Rebels. So this like I think this is one of the last ones.
yeah, I mean, because I think some people thought this was probably Barris, like the female Inquisitor that obviously got killed by Maul,
Hmm.
um, and everything. And but again, I'm just a big fan of the fact that we're just getting lightsabers fights again. You know, like again, the fact that yes, we are, Mandalorians and everything, and we're in this, new age of Star Wars, but Star Wars is lightsabers, right? And I think that now that we're, getting back to this, it just felt like it's kind of getting back to the more, nostalgia feel, but in the right way. Like again, Star Wars, we're looking for the combat with lightsaber fights and stuff, and hopefully good combat, and not just wonky stuff we got from like the Force Awakens or whatever like that.
Yeah,
Because
I understand. I understand that. I mean, we have gotten good stuff when it comes to like Mandalorian and its hand-to-hand combat, or Andor and its political, like one way out moments. But we have had a lack of like lightsaber duels. We had a little bit of that in Obi-Wan, I say, which is probably the most before this that we had lightsaber duels again for the first time since the sequel trilogy. So hopefully with this, there's a lot more, especially since we have a lot more force users within the series.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Then we get the shot. No, again, saying that she's a warrior, she's an outcast, a rebel, and then she's saying she's a Jedi. Now, here's the key thing, though, right?
Yeah, they said Jedi
Ahsoka always
last.
identified, right? Ahsoka always identifies saying that she's not a Jedi. So it's again just seeing this side of her, like again, I felt like she got returned to something that she walked away from. The thing I like again, I
Yeah.
want to see this type of journey, at least to hopefully what's the culmination of her story, right? Um,
Cause
you
yeah,
see a
because remember
returning
that
droid
iconic
right here
moment.
from Rebels.
Yeah, the one that
You
yeah,
know,
that droid for anybody who didn't know is one that basically trained young Padawans, like in the creation of lightsabers.
yeah. So this is like old Star
Hmm.
Wars lore right here, like and everything. But yeah, I just hope this is really good. This is like again, I've been kind of feeling lukewarm with Mandalorian right now. Other than like the last few episodes were really good, but I'm just saying, like I miss lightsabers, and I'm actually really a fan of Ahsoka. Now, I will say this though, one thing I do appreciate with Rosario Dawson is like giving the old wise Ahsoka, but I really want to see a little bit more of her personality. Just a back from where she was when she was younger. At least in
Hmm.
Rebels, you do get a side of her personality, but older. But like in Mandalorian and in Book of Boba Fett, she always kind of seemed like very stoic, like more calm, more wise, and everything. Not saying that Ahsoka shouldn't be that. Obviously she like this character's been through a lot, right?
Hmm.
But my point is that I just want to see more of her personality, at least just kind of just like old reminiscent of where what she used to be. That's just
Yeah, because
that's just my personal
Ahsoka,
thing.
as we said, yeah, because like as he said, like Ahsoka has had her stoic moments, especially within Rebels and Mandalorian. But for people who have seen her character within Clone Wars and again within Rebels, she's also had this like cheerful and like playful side to her as well. And we haven't seen that in a good long while again, unless it's in the animated side of things.
Right, right, yeah, and then that concludes you know trailer for Ahsoka and everything. This was my favorite trailer that came out. A lot of celebration and everything. And again, you're still getting that world between worlds like logo in the background again. So I don't know what they're trying to do. Like obviously that's like a hint of time travel if possible, but I don't know what they're gonna be doing with that. But hopefully, we shall see. But yeah, guys, let guys know your thoughts about the Ahsoka trailer. Did you like it? Did you not? Are you looking forward to the show? And what Easter eggs we probably missed from it? Let us know down below. All right. Now that the fact that you're here, you can go back. I was supposed to have that in the beginning, but now I'm gonna have it. Now talking about the recent episode of Mandalorian season 3, episode 7. And I'll let you take the floor in this one. Saying like, what were your thoughts on it? I'll give mine.
Okay. What the hell? All right. So this week's episode was by far insane. Again, just to recap, they're finally ready to retake Mandalore, and this is the moment that our good old boy, you have something I want, Moff Gideon, decided to reemerge. And as we later find out, he is trying, as you notice, he's trying to take the best of like multiple worlds, the Sith, the Jedi, the Mandalorians, the Republic, the New Republic, the Empire, and put it all together to plant the seeds for what will be the First Order. He's trying to take the best out of everything, and that includes taking over Mandalore, turning it into an Empire stronghold with a lot of TIE fighters, and using the last remaining Beskar on the planet to make Beskar stormtroopers. They still can't aim for shit, but they are a lot stronger now, which makes a lot of scary things. But the episode was titled "The Spies." Now, unless that is a red herring and Dave and the others were like messing with us, there may have potentially been a traitor within this. Because again, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin lead the others to Mandalore. And by the way, also just to note, they rebuilt IG-11 into IG-12 for Grogu to pilot, so now he can keep up with everybody without Din having to hold him or put him into his like floating, cradle or whatever. So the kids out there like spamming the yes and no button. But yeah, they go to Mandalore, and it's just crazy. I must say, one of my favorite shots has to be them all of those Mandalorians dropping down from Bo-Katan's ship the onto the surface of Mandalore. And also, you notice Bo-Katan for the first time in this episode was like happy out of belief because again, like she felt like after all of the hardship, after all of like the mess up, and after her name basically got dragged through the mud of being the one to curse Mandalore, which we find out as well exactly how Moff Gideon came in contact with the Darksaber. For the first time, she's actually happy and actually feeling like she can lead Mandalore back to what it was, just for it to be revealed that Mandalore has already been turned into something else that it probably shouldn't have. And again, when I say spies, there are a lot of potential people for who potentially could have gave them up, and also given Moff Gideon the keys to Mandalore. A big eye is going towards the armorer, because she's been kind of weird this season, especially with the fact that she's been so eager as well to get Mandalore, back to running order, even giving Bo-Katan like the leadership, and even allowing her to be the one amongst them to like remove her helmet because she's walked both ways. There's also Axel Wolves, that's his name, who was part of which was part of her crew, who we reconnected with the previous episode, who had taken over Moff Gideon's ship after they had taken it over at the end of the season 2, and basically took over her entire like crew until she got it back because she had the Darksaber. And then there's the potential because again, someone pointed it out. He wasn't there when they took down Moff Gideon in season 2. The others in her crew were, but not him, for some reason. That also potentially leads to him. The other one is also survivors within Mandalore, which yeah, just to know there were surviving Mandalorians and the place was an Empire stronghold, like that just seems way too suspicious. Because it's like, how did y'all never run into the Empire? Like y'all have run into all these other mythical creatures outside the mythosaur, that have been rising up because of all the geological upset of the planet, and y'all never ran into the Empire. Y'all never ran into the stormtroopers. Y'all never ran into Moff Gideon or anybody else. Like, they seem sus as well. So we have three, potential candidates for who potentially like betrayed everybody and was brought up before earlier. Yes, our boy Paz Vesla he got axed this episode by the three Red Knights from the sequel trilogy. This is basically their beginning in a sense. They're those three like Quintillion guards that are with Snoke in there that Ray and Ben fight off in The Last Jedi. They're here now, and they basically kill Paz Vizsla. And also another big thing to note as well when it comes to this episode is that again Moff Gideon took the Beskar and also captured Din Djarin as well. So it's like everything is just pretty much in shambles. And also, if you didn't see the Ahsoka trailer nor hear about the announcements over at Star Wars Celebration, this would have been your first time hearing about Thrawn, because we have this big, as you see on screen, we have this like big meeting room between the last remaining generals from the Empire, with even one of them being the father of a character that we see in the sequel trilogy, and another one being the right hand of Admiral Thrawn from that Heir to the Empire book, from that Heir to the Empire novel. So it's like, they're planting the seeds from taking things from Legends and planting the seeds for Thrawn's return within Ahsoka, and maybe even some other stuff that we'll potentially see within that, culminating final Mando film. But yeah, insane episode. And next week's the finale. And just to let y'all know, during Celebration, Katie Sackhoff said that this episode and the finale we are not prepared for. So brace yourselves for Wednesday.
Right. Yeah. Now I will say this though. I want to like, as I've been caught up now with everything with this with the show and everything, I will say like that episode was very very good. Now my point I want to kind of talk about is basically with Grand Admiral Thrawn, in terms of what they're gonna be setting up, coming in the next coming, shows and episodes, and what it's setting the seeds for. Because I'm saying, I don't know, on my theory for next week episode, the fact that we might see Thrawn show up, possibly. And guys, for those you guys don't know, this is what Admiral Thrawn looks like in animated, version and everything. Now, one thing I do kind of appreciate what they're doing is kind of setting up the more of like the Empire Strikes Back of the Mandalorian, in terms of like, hey, listen, people you trusted turn your back on you and everything, and then there's a lot of like history, like meanings and things are changing and stuff. But I really like this setup they had with the reptilian guards and everything. Like you had the setup of the First Order, at least what you're seeing now. Um, the seeds being shot. I like costume design, what they did with this. But this was very combat heavy in this episode. Very very action pack and all of it and stuff. But again, this was world building, which I liked. Again, this is my only thing I kind of appreciated what I wanted them to get into, is that actually have world building that makes sense into the overall story, that they're contextualized. Like, yes, we get it. You have Mando, you got Grogu, he's cute and blah blah. We get it. I want to know what is the seeds of the playing to transitioning of the Star Wars right now, from the original trilogy to the sequel trilogy right now, right? And now I thought this was just a great reveal. Now I want to talk about this again. We get back here. This shot right here. First of all, I love his costume. Love his costume he have here, and it's all made of pure Beskar. And but my question is though, is the fact is, how did he get this? All right, because the only thing Beskar is a very very rare. Is a very very rare piece of metal and stuff like that. So it's not like something you can come by. And then we always hear about a potential chameleon or whatever, someone a spy, right? And I'm thinking that the person that actually the spy, my theory is actually the armorer herself, right? The only
Hmm.
reason why I think that the armorer might be the spy is giving the information to Moff Gideon is because you see the helmet right here, and you're gonna kind of look at the shot right here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely noticed that as well. Like,
You
the
see
horns
you
being
see
the
the
same,
horns
but
on the helmet, which is very giving off
hmm
like Maul, design and stuff. So it's only giving like the only
yeah,
reason why like she probably got created this armor for him for some reason. Now, is it for a sake of like, hey, I'm only siding with you for survival, or the fact that this person who is considered as a religious zealot in the Mandalorian, history is now being considered as like, oh, as a spy for the Imperials who also doom Mandalore and destroyed their entire, home and their kingdom.
I think there actually is a big clue to that because remember that point where she said Death Watch is no more, and the last time we saw the Death Watch within Clone Wars, they were under the thumb of Darth Maul. They were Darth Maul's like troops, and they again had their helmets in honor of him, which is the same, almost similar design to the armor and to Moff Gideon's new Dark Trooper armor. So maybe that
Yeah,
might be a hint that potentially, because we still don't know who the armorer is underneath the helmet. We've never seen her face, of course, but it's like, what's to say that she maybe potentially could have been someone who was part of that group?
yeah. This is Moff Gideon, by the way. That's the person under the armor. It's people that they didn't know who he was. He's a black dude with the black lightsaber who showed up at the end of the season one, right? He basically the guy who basically ordered to destroy Mandalore during the purge, right?
and
So
he's
yeah,
the only one that's ever made Homelander scared.
right. He's also this actor, Giancarlo Esposito, a fantastic actor. He's also on The Boys as well. He plays Edgar, like the CEO of the company and everything. But in Star Wars, he plays Moff Gideon, an Imperial officer who, at this, what he said his intention is, I'm going to create a new order of the Empire, which basically going to be leading to the First Order, and everything like that. So, and also you get a quick shot of these new troopers in the back, right? Now,
Hmm.
obviously, we see, we know that the new First Order stormtroopers look different, right? Now, I think this probably might be just an earlier design, possibly, you know, and probably like a variation of what we're gonna see in the sequel trilogy, right here, So I mean, I'm just saying like
Hmm.
that's probably probably what's gonna happen, um, but yeah, but other than that, do you have any final thoughts on in terms of what you might think is going to happen in the final episode?
I say one of definitely one thing that I can definitely say will happen is that they will do something with the mythosaur. They wouldn't just show it to not do something with it. I expect for Bo-Katan, especially since she was the one to see it, to be like controlling or writing or having like a connection to the mythosaur to end Moff Gideon's, like whole reign of terror. What I could definitely see happening is that by the way, I just have to ask you: did you almost think that Moff Gideon was going to take off Din's helmet during that whole scene?
Yes, I think so. That's what
Yeah,
I thought it was going to
yeah,
be, but I think they're saving. I think they're probably going to save that for the final episode. Um,
yeah. Because we haven't seen Pedro's face yet, so I definitely say that that might happen. He might like try to embarrass him by taking off his helmet and breaking his creed again. Basically putting him back to where he started, but basically as a side of like embarrassment. I can see Bo-Katan and the Mythosaur taking him down, and I can see the episode. I can see the season also ending with a tease of Thrawn, like Thrawn being like, "Well, he failed. Y'all wanted me. I'm here. Let's get
I'll do it
started.
myself. Fine,
I'll
I'll
do
do
it
it
myself,
myself.
basically." Yeah, I can see that, but I can also see potentially other, seeds being planted. Like again, the New Republic, as said in like one of the earlier episodes, they're not noticing all this stuff happening right underneath their boots. So maybe there might also be a scene with them realizing, okay, we've been slacking. Maybe we might need to do something about that and like recalling, whoever else they can. potentially like Luke, maybe even calling in Boba Fett. I
No,
don't know,
no,
just
no, 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 no,
something.
no.
I don't know who, but I definitely see the New Republic being like, okay, we effed up because we weren't paying attention. Maybe we should start doing something.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that you know, I'm still thinking they're probably gonna do is probably have her ride the Mythosword, just like
Hmm.
in a way of making it seem like yeah, I am now the ruler of Mandalore, and rightfully not because I have the the dark saber. Now I'm actually ruling, you know, the creature that's based off of our religion, and
Hmm.
everything. Which again, that kind of gives a biblical that gives kind of like a biblical almost irony in a way of like again it's like all the claim that's saying that she felt like she was disowned or like almost brought shame to the Mandalorian name. Now it's kind of bringing back in the blaze of glory and stuff like that. But I think what's going to happen again, just as we see a faction of the Mandalorian, kind of you see their armor probably help like becoming the Praetorian guards or whatever. I think there's going to be
Hmm.
some Mandalorians say, "Screw the religion, I just want to survive, so I'm just going to work,
Right.
work for the Empire." That's why I think that you kind of see some like, hey, there's some undertones of people like crossing sides and everything like that. Now, also there might be tease a relationship probably between Din and Bo-Katan, if possibly, if anything like that. Uh, I want to know what's the future of his character and everything, especially with with Grogu. Could we also have another thing too? In that conversation of okay, we've seen these back to tanks, we're seeing these cloning and things like what they actually are doing. In these coming episodes, with are they trying to recreate the Emperor? Are they? What is Project? I forgot what the name of that project they were trying to do. Um,
Yeah, I forget the name too, but yeah, but basically the project that could lead to the return of the Emperor that we of course see within the sequel trilogy. I definitely think that is going to be something that that we will eventually get to.
right. Yeah. I mean, I know. I just hope that uh, that hopefully again that this pays off very well. We've been disappointed before, and I just want to make sure that they have a payoff finale. If they can recreate the joy of Mandalorian season 2 finale with Luke showing up, right? Because y'all need to remember there was a time that when we were all in quarantine and everything, and that moment happened when
Hmm.
Luke Skywalker showing up. All of us Star Wars fans rejoiced, and we needed that. You know,
Yes.
so I'm just saying now, with this, with Disney, what they're trying to do now, because because let's not face it, Mandalorian has been getting low ratings. Been like they recently had like the lowest rated episode of the whole show and everything. In the last few episodes. We had Lizzo, we have Jack Black up in this bitch, and stuff. And still, I'm still fathoming like how the hell that happened. Yes, I get it, but that just nah, not Lizzo, not Lizzo. I rebuke. Um, and it makes
Okay.
absolutely no fucking sense.
Listen, okay, listen. I will say that yeah, Jack Black and Lizzo. I think if it was just one of them, it would have been enough. But the fact that there's like two big mega stars within Star Wars, it's not that I never would have seen them in there. Jack Black, I could definitely see. What I definitely saw being someone that could have showed up within Star Wars. But having those two big mega stars showing up, yeah, it was definitely probably jarring, I should say. I mean. I didn't mind it because they weren't the focal point of the rest of the episode, but I can understand for some people, it was just like like what the fuck, like the fuck. Again, Jack Black I could see, and I heard Lizzo was a big Star Wars fan thanks to her dad, so I can understand that. But like, I do understand it was a weird thing though. I
Mhm.
understand it was a weird thing. It wasn't the worst thing though, but it was a weird thing.
Yeah, I just can't. That just the fact that like it just I understand. It's not just like, oh, you have a bad cameo. It just like the most ridiculous shit you can ever think of. I would never thought of this. This is worse. This probably was worse than Meg Thee Stallion twerking with She-Hulk. But um, but I just couldn't. It's just like Lizzo. Lizzo. I, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Doc Brown being in the episode. Yeah, that makes sense. You
Yeah,
know,
that was cool. That was cool seeing
that
him
makes sense.
and him technically being the bad guy in the episode. That was honestly kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That made absolutely sense, right? So, but anyway, I will say this. I forgot to, now that you're here, I want to get your opinion before we get. I'm actually gonna uh share the link here, and anybody want to give their thoughts on talked about one about the recent episode Mandalorian, the Ahsoka trailer about the news of the new three new Star Wars films have been announced and everything. Let us know down in the comment section down below, and I give you opportunity, guys, to come on panel if you want to. Um, but yeah, JK, what was your thoughts on the announcement of them announcing three new Star Wars films, and or each of them being different, but like what was your one that stood out to you?
Um, Well, I will say, like for all of them, I definitely have reasons to be excited about all of them. I think most definitely my most anticipated one will be the big end to the Mandoverse one that Dave Filoni is going to be working on. But I say that my most anticipated has to be the Origin of the Force, and my most like, okay, I'm definitely interested in seeing what they do with this is the Ray one to kind of move past the sequel trilogy into whatever next trilogy that could be. Like that's my okay. Let's see where this goes with it. But I'm definitely interested, and I'm happy to see Daisy Ridley back. But most anticipated has to be the Origins of the Force, and definitely 100% looking forward to what has to be the big end to the Mandoverse one. Like when it comes to all of those, I have reasons to, you know, be excited for all those that are upcoming. But to the top will be the Origin because I'm very curious what they're going to do with that. Because that's the furthest back we've ever gone when it comes to the history of Star Wars. That's the furthest back we've ever gone.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but like the one with Ray though, I want to give it hope. Again, I'm not gonna try to judge this saying immediately is dead on arrival, but a lot of people are not happy with this. In
Yeah,
with the
I
sequel
know, I
trilogy, and
know,
I'm
and you
just
got like
saying,
you I know, and you got like certain people up here like putting their rant videos out and having their thumbnails like,
yeah, right.
mhm,
Um, yeah, but I just think that um, what they're going to try to do with this, hopefully, give her another opportunity, just hopefully be a great film. And I'm like, listen, I just want a great story, and that's it. I'll give my disbelief the fact that it's 15 years later, that 15 years can do a lot, for people and stuff like that. So
mhm.
whether she matured, and there's people who have children. There was this leak image. I'm not even gonna try to address it, but like that she might be pregnant. I don't know. Yeah. There's this like image going around saying that she's pregnant by the Force, in which again that kind of gives the cycle of the. Uh, like I'm not gonna show it, but yeah. There's something
Hold
going on.
on,
There's a
Wait, hold on, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, there's a theory going around saying that she might be pregnant. I don't know. I'm just
Who
saying,
put
hey,
this theory? Who put this theory?
there was an image. There was an image from Star Wars Celebration, or at least they said that was allegedly leaked. I mean, I'm gonna talk to Ronan, who actually showed up there, who's actually in London.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
Uh,
Ronan to confirm this.
but yeah, I was like, wait, she pregnant? Like what? I was like, okay. Um,
Like,
but yeah,
and you said pregnant by the Force. That's what got me. By the Force, I'm like, we ain't doing this shit again.
well, anyway, it'd be the circle of life. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, guys. But that conclude the topics we got here on the show today. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Let us guys know on your thoughts on any of the topics we covered today. And I want to hear you guys your thoughts in the comment section down below. I wanted to address some people in the chat right now, saying what Marcus is talking about. So what the hell that Lizzo and Jack Black I do had no reason being there. Yeah, I'm like, I just didn't get it. It's just like it took me out. It took me out of the of the show. But yeah, this was Travis Mitchell. He said this here. He said, I think R5, who's back up in the main ship, transmitted a distress call to Karras and Teba and Delta Squad as well as Boba Fett arriving with squadron of X-wings. Yeah, I don't know. Were you talking about the trailer for Ahsoka or something like that, or
I
are you
think he
talking
might.
about?
I think it might mean like a potential theory for what could happen within the finale, which that would be interesting to see. Like a potential theory for what could happen in this upcoming week's episode.
Oh yeah, possibly right. And it said last inning Travis was saying it would awesome if we hear TIE Center pilot point out projectile and axe wolves line up against the fires Mountain One. Ripley pilot out taking out the truck. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying they've been doing good with, with action and stuff like that in the show. So I mean, I know the finale is definitely gonna pay off and everything like that. But one second. Yeah, we got Mandrell in the back in the building here. Mandrell, how you doing, man?
All right.
So I haven't talked to you in a minute. How's it been going?
All right. All right. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Ahsoka's probably the only thing I'm looking forward. Ahsoka's probably the only thing I'm looking forward to watching. Keeping it real. This season of The Mandalorian has been, for the most part, pointless. It's gone nowhere. Like the first 6 or 7 episodes went nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
That's cool and all, but where are we going with this? Episode 4 came. Okay, what's the overarching story here? What kind of story are we trying to tell here? Last episode, they kind of made up for it, but for me, you're gonna have to do better than that. That should have been like the second or third episode for me. You know what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely understand that. I mean, I'd have to say this, Mandro. This season definitely has been a weird one in the sense that, unlike the last couple seasons, at the very least, we knew very well where things were leading to, or at least the theme of the season. Like the first season, of course, that was protecting Grogu. The second season, that was finding a Jedi to take Grogu. The third season, until like I say halfway through, we didn't know, but I will say the theme of the season was basically rebuild Mandalore and rebuild the Mandalorian, homeworld. But we didn't know that initially because, I mean, we just didn't know that initially.
No one did anything towards that. No one did anything in relation to rebuilding Mandalore. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, oddly enough, the Jack Black and Lizzo episode, I actually like that one. That's the crazy part. Here's the thing. Lizzo, Jack Black, go back and watch it again. Jack Black sold it. His character, at least. He sold his character. Like, you could see that you could see that character looking like Jack Black and behaving that way. It was natural for him. I think what threw people off of Lizzo is that her acting, it needs work. It wasn't terrible. She has potential, but she wasn't anywhere near as natural as Jack Black was, and the rest of them, Katie Sackhoff, Pablo Pascal, those 3 people, and Jack Black, those 3 people were natural in the characters that they were portraying. Lizzo is not a seasoned actor, and you can tell the difference.
She's not an actor.
Right. Period. She's not an actor at all. Right. And you can tell the difference. I think that's what threw everyone off with her. Everyone got thrown off because it's like, okay, we can tell the difference between all 3, everyone else on the screen, and you. You stick out. You need a lot of work. And I think that's what the big hang up is. I don't think she did she didn't do a terrible job. I can see her. Right. I can see that being that character looking like her and sounding like her, but in her delivery, it wasn't as strong and solid as the rest of them. The rest of them were just fluid, right with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I believe that Pablo Pascal is Din Djarin. Even Katie Sackhoff's character. Now, I've watched Star Wars Clone Wars. When they announced her at first, I was like, okay, I can kind of see it, but she's going to have to act her ass off. Right. You know what I'm saying? To sell me on that character. As her playing that character. And lo and behold, she did. She did. I want to know what happened. Lo and behold,
she's had time to prepare. She's had time to prepare. She's been voicing the character the entire time. So.
Oh, she did voice the character?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same
she's the
voice actor.
original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
same
didn't know.
voice.
I didn't know Katie voiced that character. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it was
I know
yeah.
she's a good. I know she's a good actor. I liked her as Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that show. I'm gonna rewatch that show starting tonight. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I like that show. I wish there was more of it. I want to know what happened to Starbuck. Anyway, we're off point. Okay, what's the other? I think it's some bullshit I wanted to get to.
What?
You
Wait,
talked
Mandalorian?
we talked about Mandalorian. This season, nah, it wasn't it. You didn't tell a story here. You had some stuff happen, and now last
We're telling
episode
a
you
story.
decide to tell a
Exactly.
story. You know, you had some stuff. If this is a 24 episode season, fine. Bring all the filler you want. But if you got 8 episodes, you don't have time for filler. Nobody.
But
wants
I don't
filler.
have to wait. What? 2 episodes to wait to see one of the Mandalorian sons, get eaten by some damn chickens. And,
You're right. You're right.
Like,
if you had more episodes, this would be acceptable. But since your seasons are so short, no, you can't afford that. You're not gonna. That's why the ratings have been dropping. You're not holding people's attention. You're not telling people a story. It's just random events happening, and then the hero gets into some trouble and he gets out. Like, we know the formula now. You haven't surprised us with anything. You're doing the same thing. It's the same thing with the Marvel movies. Once they started doing the same thing with all the movies, it's like, okay, now we're bored. All these movies are the same,
right.
So it's like until Thanos came about in that first Infinity War movie and actually won. Everyone's like, what? What happened? Everyone rushed out to see the second one because everyone would know, how the hell are they going to get out of this one?
Right.
The bad guy actually won, and he had a legit reason to do it. Now, he could have just used those Infinity Gauntlets to just create more resources or make sentient life not need sustenance, need to sustenance in order to survive. A lot of stuff he could have done as opposed to just, I'm going to kill half the life in the universe. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, Marvel shocked us with that. And I'm glad we're getting into the Rebels characters now. They should have been doing this with all of the Star Wars. Like the Obi-Wan show, that was a story that never needed to be told. I stand on that.
It should have been a film. It should have been a film.
I said it before when it first happened, and I stand on it. That was a story that never needed to be told. You took a bunch of stuff that happened in other Star Wars media, video games, especially video games, Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO. A lot of the moves they were doing, you took all that shit from the MMO. Like, I've been playing this game since 2010. I've seen all of this before, and this is where you got it from. Yeah, right now, I'm not impressed. It was, again, and It just, for me, it took away from the Vader character and the mystique. He's supposed to be the ultimate badass, but he gets beaten by Obi-Wan Kenobi, a guy who couldn't lift a pack of matches 3 hours ago. All of a sudden, he's throwing boulders at him. Stop. And he's not some super powerful Jedi. He never was. But I digress. But against Vader. I think it's Darth fucking Vader. And then, this is what I want to get to. Rey coming back. Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Okay.
No, thank you.
Hold on. This is a mistake that no one is asking for. It's also a surprise that everyone told you we did not want. It's a surprise that everyone told you we don't want. So you're going to bring her back in here again? No, start over. Do what DC is doing. Start over. You fucked up. You fucked up so bad that it came out and publicly admitted you messed up. So in order for you to try to, your idea of trying to unfuck it is to do the things that fucked it in the first place.
Okay.
Are you going to kill Rey in some slow and painful way to satisfy the audience? I don't think that's going to work either. No one wants to see that. They just want the character to go away. That's what we want. We don't want harm to come to her. Just send her off into the outer rim or something. Just let her do her own thing over there. Don't bring her in. What you do with Ahsoka, bring some new characters in with new agendas. Do that. This last trilogy y'all did, it was called, you may as well call it Star Wars Greatest Hits, the first movie. You put all 3 Star Wars movies into one movie. It was
and
Star Wars
failed at
greatest
both
hits.
of them.
Right. And then
Failed in all three.
the next two, I don't know what you were thinking with that. I really don't. Look, I'm lost.
But here's the thing. I will say, this is my thing. I do appreciate with the announcement that came out of this of Celebration, the fact that they at least came out with an initial plan. Right now, we believe, don't show me, you can show me better, you can tell me, right? Because obviously, with this company, with Disney, especially with Lucasfilm, they have been on parent over time and time again saying, "Hey, this movie coming out, we're not going to make it." Oh yeah, Taika Waititi, we got that film you're gonna come out. You're still gonna make it, but we don't know when, we don't know where. Hey, Ryan Johnson, that trilogy you said you're gonna make, nah, we're not doing that. Oh, hey, Patty Jenkins, that movie about Rogue Squadron you did, yeah, Wonder Woman 2 didn't do good. So no, we're taking it away. All this stuff. So that at this
Dan and
point,
Dave from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, like we
Took that
rushed
away.
our last fucking season to get to this movie we never got to make. Right. So yeah. So no. So I'm just saying this is just like, I hope they again are able to execute what they're saying. And like I said, I'll take everything will come with a grain of salt, everything that they're telling me. I will say one of the biggest highlights of the celebration that I did appreciate was them actually addressing the timeline. The beginning and middle, or at least the current state of where we are in Star Wars, like present day. So at least that kind of give, like, in terms of like the history about where we are, and like in these films and everything, and the future projects coming out. So I'm all here for it. But yeah.
I just like this whole thing with the First Order. They need to just kill it with fire. That whole last trilogy idea, kill it with fire. Okay, do that with it. Just don't make anything link up with it. Just pretend it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Pretend it didn't happen. Okay, we don't want Rey Skywalker. You can't just name yourself Rey Skywalker and be a Skywalker. You killed off the entire Skywalker line. You had Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Everyone waited 40 years. 40 years to see what Jedi Master Luke Skywalker could do. And you did nothing with him. You had 40 years to come up with stuff to see Luke do. And nothing. That's why people are so butthurt. You took a character people have been waiting 40 years to see in action. You did nothing with him, and you killed him off for no good reason.
Right. Hey, and I want to ask your opinion about this though, because what do you feel about them addressing the new timeline right here? Right here. 1 second.
That's what I wanted to ask. Where's Ezra Bridger? That's
He's
what I wanted to
alive.
ask. Well, if Thrawn's alive, if Thrawn's alive, it only stands reason that he'd be.
Right, exactly. Yeah, well, but what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, Mike, I don't care. Not anymore, man. They lost me, man. I don't care. Just look, we can make something good. Okay, maybe I'll care again.
I got you. I agree with you. I mean, I just thought that was very interesting. Like, okay, you give us the timelines and everything like that. So okay, cool. But I just want to know what are you gonna do with all this shit. So yeah, it's just like, but like, man, Drugs, to your point, you're absolutely right. Like, I was not watching Mandalorian season 3 week by week. Like, I just watched all the episodes, or at least the last remaining few. Was it today before I came on live, right? The last one I left off with was with Lizzo, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Then
the one after that is actually good.
Right.
No,
episode 6 and 7, I know we're very good at pick up the pace, but I'm like, the first 4. Right.
It's like, what are you doing?
And I'm like, I'm not getting up. Like, I'm on the East Coast time. I'm not getting up at 3:00 in the morning just watching this stuff. Waiting to drop. I'm like, nah. And then when I watch, I'm like, that's it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Here's the thing. I missed like 3 episodes, and I forgot in a row, and I forgot because I forgot they were coming on. Right. Here's the quick kicker. I'm subscribed to the Angry Joe Show. And he does a review for it, right? So I see the thumbnail for the review. I was like, oh yeah, I acknowledge to myself, oh yeah, another episode of The Mandalorian's come out. I need to check that out. I forget 3 minutes later. Like seriously, like 3 minutes later, I totally forgot that came. Like that's how interesting it is. I forget almost as soon as I find out it came out, and I don't remember that it drops on like Wednesdays now.
Wednesdays.
Yeah, yeah, we just don't care, and that's the problem. These writers, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what direction they're going in, but it's like they just don't know. And Kathleen Kennedy has to go. It's not because she's a woman. It's because she's clearly not managing this property correctly. Fans want what the fans want, right? And come up with creative. That last trilogy, dude, I keep going back to that because here's the biggest problem with that. George Lucas wrote one big long story, right? Mm-hmm. Broke it up into 6 parts. These people, they wrote one movie at a time. They didn't write one overall story and break it up into 3 parts. They wrote one movie, then wrote the next one. Ray didn't even know she was Ray Palpatine until it was time for her to film the scene where she found out.
Right, because they didn't know.
Because they didn't know. Exactly. Look how no one thought this out, man. No one thought it out. No one cared. No one bothered.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they honestly. I honestly think that they thought that, well, it's Star Wars. People are going to watch it anyway. No, people love Star Wars because it's an interesting story. You can have a movie with all the special effects in the world, but if your script is shit, no one's going to care. Look at the animated stuff they did. Right. I'm glad you brought this up. Look at the animated stuff they did, man. Those are sensational. Like the joint with the samurai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the other one, and there's another one where this one guy was like this old Japanese dude. He was a Sith, and he had 2 swords, and he was fighting the apprentice. Then the master comes in and saves the apprentice. Stuff like that was awesome. He had one where
and he got announced to be making season 2 of Star Wars.
Yeah, they did.
This is one of the shots we have right here. That was one of my favorite things, like these like one-shot stories. But again, the fact that they could just make a whole movie out of at least just maybe one episode like that, like making like an offshoot story, I think it'll be fantastic. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but J King, you say you want to say something? J King, you there?
Man, he's in the shitter. Pinch it off and wipe and come on back, man. J King, you wanted to say something. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry to hold the mic, but I ain't talked to my boy Jedi Mike in a long time now.
Yeah. We gotta catch up.
Yeah, and so I had a lot to get off my chest. So I don't get to talk about this with other people. This is a mess.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, what's going on?
I was going to say that in regards to what y'all were saying about the state of Star Wars, and also like, how people have been feeling about Mando, and not just Mando, but just Star Wars in general, outside of stuff like Star Wars Visions, or some of the other animated stuff that we've gotten, or some glimmers of things that we've gotten over the past couple of years, after the including and after the prequel trilogy. I get it. We've all been burned, like a lot, by Star Wars. There have been good moments, and there have been moments that a lot of the fans either never asked for, /question, are concerned about. I will say this when it comes to, say, the Rey stuff. Yeah, I was not the biggest fan of the sequel trilogy. It definitely has its moments, like the hyperspace destruction of ships, or the new Force abilities. But I will also say,
you mean all of them? Not all of the moments. All of the moments.
Not all. No, not yes, all of the moments.
There's not one thing. I've rewatched it. J. King. You can't fool me. I rewatched it. All of it was bad. I hated every minute of every one of those movies because I wanted to be fair. So I recently went back and watched them. I did not like any of that. Go back and rewatch it. I guarantee you will not like it. You won't. Go back and rewatch it. Be fair. Go back and rewatch it.
Wait. What movie are you talking about?
all of
He's
them.
talking about all the prequels.
That last
Not
trilogy.
prequels, all the sequels.
That last trilogy with the one with Rey, and you had John Boyega, a force-sensitive
No, yeah,
black
sequel trilogy.
stormtrooper. Like all the you dropped so many breadcrumbs as to what the Force is doing with this guy. Okay, the brainwashing that the First Order gave the stormtroopers in order to get them to do what they wanted to do without question didn't take with him because the Force fought against it and protected him from it. This is all in literature, by the way, not in the actual script of the movies. Okay, so you had that, and then in the last movie, we should go this way. Why? I just got a feeling. Rey's over there. Why? How do you know that? I just got a feeling.
Rey!
We should do this. Rey! We should
Rey!
Why did they take Rey, I wonder? They took her over there. How do you know? I just got a feeling.
Rey!
Clearly, he's force sensitive. Obviously, and you did nothing with him. You didn't take him with Luke Skywalker to go learn how to use it. You didn't take him to Leia so she could teach him how to use it. Nothing. You did nothing with a brilliant character like that. And all of a sudden, Rey never held a lightsaber in her life. Never got in a fight in her life.
Oh.
She trips up and topples Luke fucking Skywalker. Stop it. She didn't earn anything. The reason why we love Luke so much is because he went through so much. He had to overcome so much. Nothing was given to him. Nothing was easy. Everything was earned. Everything was fought for. People relate to that because that's how it is with us in real life. Finn, nothing was given to him. He had nothing but a hard life. Anything he wanted, he had to earn it. He had to go get it. Nothing came easy. And you did nothing with that character, the most relatable character on the whole show, on the whole movie. You did nothing with him.
Well, hey, J. King, I would say I'll give you opportunities for retort.
Yeah, go right ahead. Now he's remembered. Now he's turning that movie back on to see. That's what he's doing. He's firing the movies up. He's getting ready to watch them now. He come back. Well,
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Are you sure? I'd love to hear it. If I'm wrong, I would like to know because I always assume that there's a chance that I'm wrong about something.
Right.
No.
That's just my perspective from my point of view.
J. King, come back on camera. Come here.
All right, 1 second. Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right. Got you. But yeah, no. I think everything, the points that you were making was absolutely correct. But I'm just saying, like, to me, I will say my frustration, what I mentioned was, that, again, it's just the quality of these characters and what you're doing. And even John Boyega himself, after everything he said, was like, nah, I messed up, man. You promised me the black man was going to be the Jedi, right? And so my thing is, in this new 15-year later storyline, the fact that if you're going to be one of Rey's first students, if possible, whatever that might be, I don't know. Well, we shall see. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just hoping that, again, they just be more, I don't want to say a man of the word, but just like, again, they just say what they're going to be doing, but give us good stories, right? You have the Star Wars Acolyte series and other stuff like that, but in the films are your foundation, right? So I'm like, all these things that we're getting, explanations about, and the fact that we did not like the sequel trilogy at all, like, overwhelmingly we did not like it, right? Again, they have the opportunity to fix this, so I'm not going to try to say come here dead on arrival, but I'm just saying, like, you give us a story, we never asked for this film, we never asked for it, but now we're here. Okay, all right, what's going on? What's the what we're gonna do, right? Now, mind you, we don't know the release date of this film yet, so there's a lot of things that are not been confirmed. Is the entire trio coming back? Poe and Finn, as well. We don't know. So I mean, only time will tell, though. But yeah, did J. King have something to say? J. King?
I'm not mute.
Yeah, and poor Oscar Isaac and John Boyega.
Emotional damage.
Two brilliant actors. Brilliant actors. What happened to their career after that? The one who played Rey, Daisy Ridley. What happened to her career after this trilogy? Not only did you ruin Star Wars, you ruined three very talented actors' careers. If I come back and I'm joined with John Boyega, Pay me. You owe me. You owe Pookie.
Yeah.
You owe Pook. You owe.
Yeah. I will say I'm
Shout
gonna
out to
stop.
Nino Brown.
I will say and stop here just for a small break. We'll be back. We'll return back on John Mike 7 Movie News Show. We'll be back very shortly.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, y'all, we are back. Thank you guys for stopping by here. This is Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. I'm going to give everybody's final thoughts before we conclude the stream. Just letting you guys know, giving you guys a heads up, which is what to look forward to on the platform and everything. Me and Jay Kane have been working very diligently on producing just good content for you guys and stuff, and just what we have in store for you, the rest of this year. As you can see, I'm in a new studio and stuff, and you see background and all stuff you see stuff will change and everything, but now as production and stuff value keep going on, more importantly to emphasize more consistency of posting things on this channel and everything. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys support in the meantime, as we have just been in a season of transition and everything like that. But just letting you guys know that we'll be having our regularly scheduled live stream weekly on Saturdays and everything, and Saturday night around like 9:30. We also have like small videos with reviews. Some are just with me, some with Jay King, some just by himself and everything. And also you might have a surprise guest as well. I say she's very attractive, and everything, and I just saw. But anyway, I'll just leave that there. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys. Anybody just been supporting the platform, and also just in my private life too, just help me just planning things, help me producing good content and everything. I really do appreciate you guys on that. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and comment, like, and share. Make sure you guys hit notification bell. Upcoming videos coming out in the coming weeks and everything. And also make sure you also pay attention to the community tab too. We're gonna be posting updates as well as any news or trailers, stuff like that come out. We'll be posting that stuff on the community tab. We'll be doing some stuff, making sure we're engaging with the audience and the community and stuff like that. So we want to make a positive community here amongst all the bullshit that's been happening in these spaces recently. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But I just want this guys to be a good space for y'all. We can come here, laugh, have a good time, nerd, geek out, whatever. And just have a good conversation. But yeah, I'm going to bring up my co-host here, Jay King. Jay King, you have any words?
Comment, like, and share.
You lousy bum. All right. I don't know what happened to Jay King.
I don't know what happened. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I'm glad you did this episode tonight. Yeah, Star Wars is it's on the canvas. It's not on the ropes. Not on the ropes anymore, man. It's on its way out, and to the point where Disney has publicly admitted that they messed up, that they ruined Star Wars. They have said this publicly. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe. Let's finish out this last season of The Mandalorian together somehow. Hopefully it's worth it. I mean, because this was a really good franchise, in my opinion. And then they messed up and said, well, Din Djarin's not the only. The Mandalorian show is not only about Din Djarin. He's not the only Mandalorian. It's about all. Okay. Now we know where you're going with it. We don't want a new character. We tune into the Mandalorian to see Din Djarin and Baby Yoda. We'd like a lot more Din Djarin than Baby Yoda. But I mean, hey, it is what it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we do is not watch. I mean, what other properties they got? I didn't even watch Andor. Should I? I didn't even watch it. Honestly, I've not seen any of that.
Yes, watch Andor. It is great.
Yes.
Okay.
Watch it,
I was afraid. Honestly, I was afraid. Okay, I'll watch Andor. Okay,
right.
Mandalorian. Don't watch Obi-Wan. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I wanted to see Darth Vader do some Darth Vader stuff, but they just let's make it where let's not do that. That's stupid. And they did stupid stuff. I mean, they got no one else to blame but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you had this guy destroying planets in the comics and in the novels, Darth Vader, with just the Force. And it's just like, okay, that guy lost to him? No. Nope. I won't believe it. You can't make me. However, I'm looking forward to Ahsoka. Hopefully they won't mess this up. Hopefully they hired talented writers and didn't woke it up. Don't woke it up, Disney. Don't woke it up. Just make good entertainment. We watch these things to be entertained, not educated. Tell a good story. That's it. Just tell a good story. Tell a good story. Leave politics out of it. Just tell a good story. Unless politics is in the storyline. Okay. I even like that they put the ladies' man in this season of The Mandalorian too. Yeah. Who was that officer who worked for the Republic who was yelling at the droid at first? Yeah. And he told that guy, yeah, you can go out there if you want to, man, but I ain't sending you no help. But then there's a spy within the. See, now that kind of stuff is good.
How about this? We'll bring you into the finale episode review, our full season review of this show.
Right.
All right, I'll hit you back up. It sounds like you got a lot to talk about Star Wars. I need to probably bring you back as a regular sometime, if possible.
Yeah. I watch a lot of. If you watch kind of the same stuff, man. I'm into. I'm a science
I know
fiction.
you are. It's a trick question.
I'm a science fiction nerd too.
I'll be contacting you anyway.
Okay, no problem,
man.
Miss you too, man. Have a thanks for having me.
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you in the back chat and everything. We can, But thank you guys. This is Jedi Mike 7 Movie News Show. We'll be back next week on a regularly scheduled program. Till next time, as the J King, Mandrell, and Jedi Mike. Peace. We are. Let me get the video. We are out.
Is there anything you want the fans to know, or any last thing you want to say to them before we get to see this series tonight?
This is where the fun begins.
Hold on. Okay.